Adolf Hitler was as mythical in death as he was brutal and large in life, because of the curious circumstances of his suicide and the inability of the wartime Allied powers to cooperate on an extensive and thorough proof that he did die. A whole mythos of his survival grew up after the war, and continued for some many years afterwards. Reich of the Black Sun, Nazi Secret Weapons, and the Cold War Allied Legend by Joseph P. Farrell. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. I have good news for you. Obama is once again poised to renege on a couple of his campaign promises. No big surprise there, since he has totally thrown out everything that he promised during his campaign up to now. House Democrats are considering taxing benefits, something that John McManchurian, candidate, floated during his campaign and that Obama came out soundly against. Obama has also said that he will not raise taxes on people who earn less than $250,000 a year, and yet, if the House does pass and Obama does support taxing benefits, then this will be an incredible, giant new tax on everybody, and that includes people earning less than $250,000 a year, and that includes taxing benefits, both things that Obama said that he would not support. So thank you, Obama, for fucking us again, and thank you for considering going back on your campaign promises yet again. I remind you that he was painted as a socialist candidate during the campaign in an effort to stir up right-wing propaganda against him. And yet, when he gets into office, he is exactly like the neocons that came before. Does anybody have any doubt that all of the candidates running for office in this country are the exact same thing as every others? There's no such thing as right and left. There's no such thing as socialist. There's no such thing as any type of ism or ist. It's all fucking bullshit. All it is meant to make you feel as though you have actually had some contribution to what has come. Now, all of this taxing benefits is in an effort to fund the so-called healthcare reform that Obama is touting right now. And the healthcare reform that Obama and House Democrats have in mind is the type that mandates that people get coverage so that everybody has insurance. Now, there's a big difference between universal healthcare and mandating that people get coverage. And the reason there is a big difference between that is because there is no effort being made. There is absolutely nothing being said by this fucking administration or anybody in Congress about the major fucking problem in the healthcare industry in this country, and that is cost. The excessive cost that people in this country have to pay for health insurance and prescription drugs. You know that Medicare is not even allowed to negotiate lower prices on prescription drugs. They're not even allowed to do that, even though they're one of the biggest buyers. Now, in other countries, they have caps, they have other measures in place which prevent pharmaceutical companies from selling drugs at ridiculous and exorbitant prices like they do in this country. And yet, those pharmaceutical companies continue to sell drugs in those countries, and I guarantee you they're not operating at a loss. Now, if you want to see what the real problem is in this country, what needs to be addressed, it's cost. What needs to be addressed is the exorbitant costs charged by health maintenance organizations and other insurance providers in this country. All you have to do to prove this to your fucking self is go look at every single so-called non-profit HMO, non-profit hospital, and non-profit healthcare provider in this country and see how many motherfucking millions and billions of dollars have been brought in excess of costs on their end. Now, normally in any business, this would be called profit. But they use fancy terms to disguise this fact. This is excess income, or whatever else other fucking made-up term they use to describe it. It's fucking profit. Non-profit companies who provide insurance coverage in this country are making fucking billions in profit. They don't call it that, but that's what it is. Now, I would ask you this question. How many people in this country could be covered by health insurance just if you took all of the fucking profits made by these so-called non-profits and applied that to providing health care coverage to people who currently don't have it? I suggest that that would solve a great deal of the fucking problem in this country. And yet, what do we have? We have the Democrats in the House wanting to tax our benefits when we're in the middle of a huge recession, which is actually more like a depression, and in defiance of the president who said he doesn't want to raise taxes on people earning less than $250,000 a year. This is just a major fuck you to the American people, and another big fucking handout to corporations. This is such fucking bullshit. Tell them to stick it up their collective fucking asses until they address the underlying problem, and that is cost. There will be no healthcare reform. So mandating that everybody in this country get coverage and pay for it under the flawed system that we have now is absolutely not the same as universal coverage. Fix the fucking problem before you mandate that everybody get covered under the system that makes fucking huge profits on the backs of sick people. And one final bit of news, and that is that in a recent poll, 44% of Americans favor free trade. They think that free trade is a good thing for the United States government. This is up from 35% last year. Now, the only reason for polls like this to come out and for them to show that free trade is a good thing is because they're preparing to jam some other piece of shit down our throat. So keep an eye on the news for some new free trade agreement or some new international agreement that further sells us down the river, further gets rid of our jobs to some foreign company or country, and further erodes our economy. Because that's the only reason why these type of PSYOP polls come out, is to prepare us for a new agreement or new whatever that's going to fuck us even further and mean more jobs lost. Thank you. Good night.